Welcome, everybody, to the Daily Intimacy. It's Tuesday morning. Really happy to see everybody. Welcome to those of you that are here for the first time, and welcome to all of you that come back every week. It's so lovely. It's such a wonderful time to connect. And I am not home this morning. So, we got John Fisher in the house, and now you're muted. Thank you for doing that. Perfect. Okay, so please check in the chat if you haven't yet, and otherwise please have a breath and gently close your eyes. I'm going to invite you to a nice deep breath into your belly and allow your belly to expand. Allowing our bellies to expand is something I feel like we need to relearn how to do. You know, when you see babies and their entire body breathes when they breathe in, like their whole body puffs up and then, expands and contracts. And then somehow we get like, oh, I've got to hold myself in tight. I've got to hold my belly in tight. I've got to hold everything in because my culture says, my family says, my mind says, whatever. So we end up contracted. So I'm really in this moment inviting you in the privacy of your own home to let your belly open, relax, expand over the top of your pants or whatever, just to really let it become mush. You can see as you're doing it, right? It's like it's not a natural thing. I speak for myself. I have to put like effort into it because I think so many teenage years of holding in. So yeah, deep breath in through the nose, exhale through your mouth. Allow there to be a sound or a sigh. Lovely in the Zoom rooms because you're all muted. That you can, nobody will hear you. Yeah, some stretching, maybe some arms over your head, reaching up, just, give your wrists some circles with your wrists. And if you're reaching up, if you're choosing that this morning, I invite you to extend your arms behind your head a little bit, squeeze your shoulder blades. You might even, you can tuck your hands behind your head all the way, the occipital ridge or overhead. Definitely going to need to be really focused on countering the body position of leaning over our computers after this year. And then come to stillness when you're ready. And I invite you to bring your attention to the earth beneath you. And I invite you, if this resonates for you, and for some it will, for some it won't, to connect with a higher vibration in the earth. We've got 3-dimensional world here, but we've got all kinds of other dimensions that exist that we just don't tap into, some of us. And so if that makes any sense to you, please bring your attention to the 5th dimension. Just a higher vibration, that's all. And just even if you just say that to yourself, you don't even have to know what I'm talking about. Inhale and breathe that energy in through the root chakra and up, bathing your body, your hips, your belly, bringing that energy of higher vibration into your heart. And then at the same time, as that's happening, I invite you to envision a crystalline light above you. So just above the 7th chakra, above the crown of your head. Just a bright light, same thing, just name it, see it as a higher vibration. a higher vibration than our dense bodies, that's for sure. And allow that light to bathe your body from the crown of your head to your heart. And then at your heart center, you can just see the sort of mixes of energies. You might put a hand on your heart and just give your heart a, yeah, exactly. And just like a counterclockwise rub. And as you stay with your heart, you turn your attention inward if it's not already. And just notice. You should feel more stillness, more quiet. If you hear your narrator or your mind speaking, just notice, oh, there's my mind, there's the narrator. You can invite the narrator to give you some space, give you some peace. Maybe when you put your hand on your heart, feelings came forward. There's a lot of things happening in our worlds and our emotions are present. And one more deep breath. And see if you can stay inside and open your eyes and come on back. Takes a little bit of effort and practice to do that because our minds and bodies entrain with what we see visually. And so we come outside of ourselves, but then we're resourcing outside and we want to learn how to and practice resourcing inside. So even right now with eyes open or soft gaze, or certainly you can keep your eyes closed. You don't need to have your eyes open here. Just notice if you can notice what's inside at the same time as you're looking out. Maybe looking at the screen, maybe looking at someone. It's funny, I'm in such a playful mood, and it must be because we have Missy today. I almost said something that would be really funny and interrupt your flow. I restrained myself. Yeah. So welcome back. Welcome, everybody. I am feeling extremely playful this morning, and maybe it's because I'm kind of sort of on vacation because I'm not home. I decided to pot up with some friends, which I hadn't done since the pandemic began. And it's just been so nice to be here. I'm just literally 40 minutes from home, but I'm not home. I don't have two puppies here. All is very well. So, and I have a special guest today, Missy. I'm not even going to say all Missy, Mimi. And then do you have your, that's sort of like a Sanskrit name, isn't it? Maitri. Yeah. So Missy and I met in the Jaguar Path. Many of you were here for Ray and Nina Christ when they came. And I've known Ray for, I don't know, 7, 8 years or something now. And I'm doing his Jaguar Path yoga and shamanism training, which has been fabulous. And I've met some really amazing, like everyone in there is just an incredible human, like we all are. And I invited handful of allies, as we say, to come to the Daily Intimacy. So today we have Missy, and I know that you're going to lead us in Yoga Nidra, which some of you know, and some of you don't know, it'll be a wonderful, relaxing, deep practice. Great way to start the day. And you also, like, at least on your website, and I think it's true about you, that you are a very playful person and you bring playfulness into your work. And so before we begin, I would love you to share some about that, just so we have some context of who you are.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Robyn, for that beautiful introduction and for the invitation to be here and for the centering that you led for myself and for anyone else who might have enjoyed dropping in. I'm so excited and feel fortunate to be here. The name of my business is Deep Play for Kids and Deep Play for All. And I was born into a world of seriousness in my family of origin before I even came into the world. And a lot of my childhood lost the art of play. I grew up very quickly and I became a young mom and a yoga teacher and a preschool teacher. And I reconnected with the art of play as I offered it to myself and really feel that there are enormous, invaluable benefits. Play gives way to joy, and I think of play as a superpower. And in addition to all of the science of higher brain function and critical thinking and right and left brain hemispheres connecting, there's just neural cascades of feel-good hormones that are released when I play. I'll just speak about myself, and I see it when I play with other people. And so I'm steeped in the science of the contemplative practices of yoga and meditation and mindfulness, and somehow just felt they could all be delivered through play, whether they were to infants or young children or people on the elderly spectrum of life and everyone in between. So I love to play, and I feel that when I bring playfulness into my life, it gives me an opportunity to have creative expression, to fully be me. There's not a wrong way to do it. So I love sharing play with anyone who wants to play with me.
Cool. Can you give me an example of what that would look like for adults? I actually, when I was in grad school, I did play therapy classes, and I loved them as an adult. So I'm just curious.
I love that you did some play therapy. I trained as an adult yoga teacher 20 years ago, and I was working in a preschool and sharing the tools of yoga in my preschool, and used a lot of music and a lot of dramatic play with kids in preschool. And so I decided to try it with adults. So for instance, for those who are maybe in my generation, I'm turning 60. There's an old Sharon, Lois, and Bram television show with an elephant. And so a way that I teach yoga to adults is, instead of bringing them into a serious warrior pose, I might do something with that music, because music gets stuck in my narrative loop of warrior one and warrior two, warrior one and warrior two, I love you. And then just doing different shapes and poses to music that's playful, that elicits a smile on the face and in the heart, and the body opens, and there's ease and there's joy and there's grace, while still having the ability to be in these shapes and poses. So I don't know why that example came into my mind, but it did. So, and playing with breath, playing with different ways to use breath as a blooming flower petal. And high-fiving to someone on a screen. You are so amazing, Robyn. And then using the hand to breathe. So just different ways to take serious practices, because they are serious and there's so much knowledge and research and a wealth of information now that is available to us, and to deliver them in a playful way.
Wow, cool. I know we've got some
And
yoga teachers on this call, so
and today when you asked me to share something, it was tricky for me because I thought about doing something playful. I'm also a dance teacher, and I'm come from a trauma lens of everything being really coded with love and safety. And so I thought about something big and playful and fun. And
Mhm.
then I thought, my soul is really tired and my nervous system is really needing to constantly be refilled. So I decided to offer Yoga Nidra, but it's a bit of a children's fun practice with the
Mm,
visualizations and the consciousness of the brain rotation, with some fun built into it. So I kind of combined a little bit of them today to share with all of you who are here.
cool. Thank you. That's awesome. Good. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Before we move into that group practice, I would love to hear from some of you. And I guess just because we have some time for what I would call check-in to share, but also perhaps with the lens of, or the question of, how have I been playing or not in my life uh, this year or now, like currently, presently? Are there ways that you recognize yourself being playful or needing to be playful? I know that I'm like, I guess I'm kind of a mix, but I'm a pretty serious person. But I also can be very playful, and I make myself laugh, which I would have done earlier in the guided visualization. But like I said, I controlled myself and didn't. Um, so, how about you guys? Who wants to share? Just put me in the chat. Love to hear from a couple of you. Yeah, how are you doing this morning? And what's up for you when we talk about play? And I will say this, sometimes play is triggering for people, right? I mean, you mentioned, Missy, like growing up really fast. I also had that experience, losing my mother really young. Um, and I know in the past, sometimes I just like really triggering to think about being playful, or that just that energy of play. So anyway, the floor is now yours. Like I said, just put me in the chat if you'd like to share. Love to hear from a couple of you. How are you doing? Go ahead, don't be shy. Welcome, Margaret. Nice to see you awake. Don't be shy. And even if it's not about play, it can be about anything. Ah, good. Susan, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Um, I thought about what Robyn said. I also tend to be a little on the serious side. Certain things, though, can definitely bring out the more playfulness, bring out playfulness. So, one is if I go skiing, I turn into almost a rowdy teenager and really ham it up. Another is if I'm attending community hand drumming circles, because we're a very judgment-free community, and even though I'm not a good dancer, we all get up and dance, and we it's a big hippie party without any drugs or alcohol, and it really brings out the playfulness in me. So I'm very grateful for both of those activities. So but on the
Hmm.
whole, I do tend to be serious, and I easily can ascribe that to having grown up in a household where the people, I lived in a big extended family, they weren't happy people. they, they were very yeah, just arguing all the time, and very serious about life and the whole world on their shoulders all the time. So it's hard for me to cut loose from that.
Mm,
you know I,
I hear you on that one. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you
I
all
know
for
there's
being here.
there's lineages, right? Also of like holding the world on our shoulders.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Thanks, Susan. Let's go to Emily and then Andrew.
Hey everybody. Um, I'm typically very playful and I make
Yay.
everything into a game because like, if something's really boring, I can't do it unless it's a game. So, like, oh, I have to do some tapping and like meditations for my health, and I have to make it into a song. So I make everything into a song and a dance.
Nice.
Which my housemate recognized yesterday. He's like, "You make everything into a dance. Here's something, make it into a dance." Okay.
I love that.
That's how I roll.
That reminds me of my father. He used to like, he would hear a word. I don't know if you do this, but he would just like hear a word and it would remind him of a song. And then he would like sing a few lines of that song all the time.
Yep, that's what I do.
That's what
That
you
runs in
do.
the family. Yeah.
Cool. I love it. That's great. I didn't pick up that trait. That's awesome. All right, let's go to Andrew and then Leslie
Hey,
Ann.
everybody. So what it brings back to me, Missy, is this, I used to be involved in Waldorf schools quite a bit when my kids were very young. And I've recently, I have a friend now that teaches kindergarten. And I think there's this universal trait in parents where they kind of look around the corner at the kindergarten room and they just want to be part of the kindergarten class. So what I've said oftentimes is I just want to go back to kindergarten again. I think it's almost universal. So I just wanted to share that.
Especially at a Waldorf school, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt the same way when my kids were there. I just wanted to go back to elementary school. It's great. And Leslie Ann.
Good morning, everyone. For me, when we talk about play, one thing that comes to mind first, I think, is nature, like animals. I find animals, there's so much play, like just watching squirrels, or my cat is like the biggest goofball and she makes me laugh and I play with her, and it's just so, it's like a very pure form of play because there's no thinking. So I love play with animals and watching animals.
That is so beautiful and such a great reminder. Like now that you point to that, it's like, I bet there's many of us here that now will like notice the playfulness of them. Some of you were here last week when I was telling you that there was a squirrel on my front porch and it was like playing with my heartstones that I have out on my deck. And it was really playful. Now I have a new lens to experience that. That's great. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else? An example of play, or even just like an awareness of needing to play more. It's been a challenge this year too, right? To like bring play in. It's like we've had to be really intentional about it. Denise.
Now that you have me thinking about play, I think one of the unrealized versions of it is that you have to be really in the moment to enjoy play. Like you can't be thinking of the past, you can't be worrying about the future. You have to be really in the moment, singing and dancing and watching the animals. And it's basically like an active outward meditation in a way, because it's forcing you to feel, whatever you're feeling in that moment, to laugh. I've had people make me laugh so hard I can't look at them, I can't think, I'm crying with tears and laughing so hard. And it's like, again, you have to give up to your body in the moment. It's out of control. And what a great exercise. What a great way to pull you back in and say, okay, you're just dealing with what's happening now. So yeah, unintended benefit of play. So that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for honing in on that point. You remind me of laughter yoga, which we haven't done in the daily intimacy yet. So if you teach laughter yoga and you want to be my guest, please write to me. I've been doing a lot of it in my neuroplasticity practice, and it is so great. It really works. It really works. I'll have to bring some in. Haha, I thought you said lobster yoga. You see how laughter yoga works? All you have to do is say that. That's really funny. Lobster yoga. I'm going to have to think about that. Anybody else would like to share before we move into Yoga Nidra? There's still time to hear your voice. John Fisher, I know you have something to say.
Okay. I'm feeling better than last week. Like something's shifting, and I think it's like I'm settling into just it's really weird, just like reality is reality. And I think it's just kind of bizarre concepts are in my brain around it. Like last week, I refuse to give a number of how I'm doing. I'm not going to define it. I'm on a journey, and that's the answer I'm giving people. I'm on a journey. I'm not going to tell you how I'm doing because it's just sort of evolving. It's like so clearly evolving second by second. And I think I don't know, I'm just sort of either settling into that or just I'm not really sure, but it feels more normal or more, I'm settling more into whatever it is that's going on, actually. And it's interestingly different. Like I might almost be able to give you a number, maybe. But I don't know, I actually don't need to, but it's just kind of weird that. No, but it's just kind of weird that that's a thing in my brain that I'm not going to define it. And I could say, I could almost say that I'm doing fine. I don't know, but I actually still don't want to.
Good, don't. Yeah. It's interesting when we're in a transition. I think it feels just as you're describing it, not only with your words, but with your energy, that it's just an interesting place.
Right.
Of not having, as Richard wrote, I get that, John. Yeah. Okay, Missy's dogs are chiming in. Go ahead, tend to them, and then we'll do, we'll see if we hear from anybody else, and then we'll move into our practice today. Thanks, John. Glad you're here from Florida.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm still so envious that you're in Florida. Oh my gosh.
Come by.
I know. Just hop on that plane.
Scary plane.
Or drive.
Yeah.
All right, Missy, we're all set for you and some Yoga Nidra practice.
Yeah, it was so lovely to hear people sharing their thoughts and experiences around play. And I invite you and encourage you to play in any opportunities that present themselves to you. And if you want to play, reach out to me and I'll be happy to play with you at any time. So I think Robyn will be sending you my contact information. So I'd love to hear from you and to have more conversations and experiences around play. And now we're going to have a yummy experience of rest. And for those of you who are familiar with Yoga Nidra, yay. And if you're a newbie and this is your maiden voyage with Yoga Nidra, yay. Yoga Union, Nidra, sleep. So it's different than a meditation practice because I will be guiding you. There will be moments where I'll step out of the way to give you space to be with your breath and to drop into different places in your body and to be in the process, but it will be me guiding you. And it's one of my favorite practices. I love to share this with others and I practice it myself. And so, like I said, I thought it might be nice to refill our cups and replenish our containers because many of us are just continuing to be asked to give more than we ever have. So the practice of Yoga Nidra is often led with the participant laying down. So if you'd like to lay down, great. And if you prefer to stay seated, that's fine. Body temperatures tend to drop when the body lays still. So if you'd like to get a sweatshirt or a blanket or something to have nearby, just in case your body temperature drops, please get that now. And if you'd like to filter out the light with something to cover your eyes, if that feels safe and comfortable, go get that now. I'll talk for about a minute and then we'll get started. So thank you for being here with me for Yoga Nidra. And like I said, there'll be moments of quiet, and it doesn't mean yoga nidra is over. I'll call you back to the sound of my voice. If there's anything that you'd like to do to set up your sacred space, to have a little bit of a rest, maybe to open or close the shade, turn off your phone, please do that now. And then get comfortable. So yoga nidra is often led anywhere from 10, 20, 30, 45 minutes. And a 30-minute practice of yoga nidra equals 2 to 4 hours of sleep, like deep sleep. When falling asleep, brain waves move from beta, so that's an active thought, to an alpha state, to a slowing down delta state. And yoga nidra rotates the different brain waves and drops you into a space that you're kind of awake and asleep at the same time. So you're conscious and relaxed and alert. And it allows the mind to disengage from the thoughts, from memories, from held experiences. So we're going to play with yoga nidra. We'll be doing a bit of squeezing and releasing. If for any reason you can't have undue pressure in your head, just do it at your own pace and then get comfortable. So allow yourself to lie down if you'd like, and to be here with whatever's present in your body and whatever's present in your mind and whatever's present in your heart. See if you can let go of what's already happened this morning and what's waiting for you just for now. It doesn't mean that you ignore it or that it didn't happen, but just allow yourself to be here just for now. And Robyn, I know you have to monitor things, but if you want to lay down and close your eyes, you could. So feel your body against a surface. And the breath can be an anchor for some, and for some, it can be a trigger. So allow your body to breathe itself naturally. Like Robyn mentioned, of the expansion of the belly. So imagine that you have a balloon in your belly, and that the belly expands on a breath in and deflates on a breath out. Take a big breath in and see if your balloon wants to blow up really big. And then exhale it with a sigh. Squeeze and tighten your hands and feet into fists, as if you were squeezing a lemon, and without hurting yourself, hold, 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 and then let it all go. And we'll do 2 more. This time, squeeze your arms and your legs and your belly and your back. Take a big breath in, hold, 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 and then let it all go. And on this last one, squeeze everything, your eyes, your cheeks, your face, your hair. Squeeze everything really tight, tight, hold, 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 and let it all go. And notice if you feel any tingling. Notice if anything feels like it might have been trapped or stuck and it released. Feel the body being supported by whatever surface you're sitting or standing or laying on. If you need at any time to adjust yourself to be more comfortable, please do so now. And like I said, if you'd like to cover your body with something and your eyes with something, do that now. You may feel like you're falling asleep, and that's fine. If your body needs to sleep, let it sleep. Shift out of thinking and doing, and be still. You don't have to do anything from now on. Feel your whole body letting go into the field of gravity. Whole body from head to toe heavy. Dropping into a place of stillness beneath the thinking mind. Let the mind do what it does, that's its job. Simply come back to the sound of my voice, the rise and fall of your belly. Noticing any sounds around you or sounds within you. Imagine there's a marble resting on the top of your head. It begins to roll down from the top of your head to your forehead and stops right between your eyebrows. And then it rolls down to the bridge of your nose, over your nose and over your mouth, and lands and rests on your chin. It rolls down your chin to your throat and down from your throat to the middle of your chest, and then rolls and lands on your belly button. Over to your right hip, right knee, right ankle, and all 5 toes on your right foot. Rolls back up your leg, hip, back to your belly button, and rolls down your left hip, left leg, left ankle, left foot, and all 5 toes. See if the stillness allows the marble to now roll back up your leg, up your hip, and back to your belly button. Rolls up to the middle of your chest and up to your throat. Rolls back up your face and lands on that spot right between your eyebrows. Let it rest there. And be as still and as quiet as you can, sensing the marble resting. And now imagine yourself in a place that feels safe and comforting to you. A place that you feel peaceful and calm. It may be a real place, an imaginary place, somewhere you've been or you've never been. It might be the beach, a park, a cozy bed on top of a snow-covered mountain, or that exotic place on your vision board that you know one day you'll visit. So just imagine yourself there now. Let whatever image that arises come up to support your experience. Picture everything there around you, what it might look like. Something there that you smell. And behind your closed eyes, in your mind's eye, something you see. How does the surface beneath you feel, and the quality of the air above you and below you? Feel your whole body here. Feel your heart expand and open. The smells, the sounds, the tastes. And wherever it is that you are, there's a beautiful dandelion flower, and your balloon blows up in your belly on a breath in. And as you blow out, all the seeds from the dandelion sparkle around you as they blow off of the stem. Breath in, feel it filling your whole body from the inside out, and the breath out blows all the seeds of the dandelion, spreading them all around. One more time, sensing the body filling with peace and calm on the breath in, and the breath out, blowing the dandelion, all the sparkles and seeds floating in the air. And rest here. Sense a warm, heavy blanket of calm covering your whole body. This blanket draping over the tips of your toes, covering your whole body and being tucked and wrapped around your shoulders. When you hear me name an image, imagine it. Gentle rain. And stars in the sky. And give your body and mind full permission to rest. Front of the body at rest and the back of the body at rest. Space above you and below you, peaceful and quiet. The space around you, a sense of quiet and peace. And the more often you come to this place and connect with the calm that lives inside of you, you can return here again and again. If you have an area that needs healing, physical or spiritual or emotional, allow bright light and love to flow there now. You are an emissary of light and love. Allow your whole body to respond to what I say. I can experience peace in my day. I can experience peace in my day. And as you hear the sound of my chime, sense the body resting. And begin to become aware of the rise and fall of the belly with the breath, coming back into this space. And take your time, don't hurry. Notice any sounds around you and any sounds within you. Continue to stay in this deep inner experience, and as you gradually begin to move, sense the body from all directions. Sense the whole body renewed with vitality and peace. And gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and notice how soft the breath may be. How quiet the heartbeat may be. How still the body may be. And then gently hug your knees up into your chest if you were in a laying down position. And if it's available, wrap your arms around your knees and give yourself a hug and offer some gratitude and love to your body for supporting you. Roll over onto one side. And when you get onto one side, if it's comfortable, pause for a moment before coming up to seated. And in this quiet space of being with yourself, offer yourself a secret, silent love letter message. Something that you offer so graciously to others that you want or need to hear. And then as you feel ready, make your way up to seated. So welcome back. I'm so thankful to have shared a short yoga nidra practice where we all were able to just be in rest and breath with one another. And I thank you all for showing up this morning, for taking the time to put aside an hour to be here with me. And thank you, Robyn, for offering these weekly gatherings during this time when they're so invaluable and so crucially needed. So thank you for building community and sharing practices. And it was really a joy for me to share Yoga Nidra with you all this morning.
Oh, Missy, thank you. Wow. I can never speak after these things. I love Denise's face, so beautiful, and she's clapping, which is so lovely. Yes. Who would like to share just a word or two about how that was? Curious if it was your first time. A word or two, just put me in the chat and then you can unmute. Shishing went to sleep, but that's good because now it's almost 11 p.m. where she is. Let's hear from you, Denise.
I just really like how deep it goes, but then how easy it is to come out. Unlike sometimes deep sleep, you come out and you're even more foggier than, but the quality must be pure because you come out and you feel not as heavy, not like you're drunk with sleep.
Yeah. I agree with that. Oh, I like Beth's reaction. Let's hear from either Doug or Josara, whichever one of you, and then Mitchell. Go ahead and unmute, you guys. You too. You have no sound, huh? That's so weird. I didn't have it earlier either. I'm sorry. Maybe you can write something in the chat And we'll go to Mitchell. It's so odd. I'm on my phone because I didn't have sound. Mitchell?
Yeah, so for me, I use that Insight Timer, and they have these amazing yoga nidras there, and I often will play them at night to go to bed, and I like to try to get them where they're like an hour long, and there's times where I don't even remember finishing it because it just casts me off into this wonderful sleep. And yours was just beautiful because you really just feel yourself, as Denise said, like just settling right in and down and deep, and then you're just riding. And then there's a moment where like you just lose all sense of time, and then you start resurfacing, and then you come out and you're just so refreshed. And thank you. It was great to do it like in the morning like this. I usually do them at night, so thank you. Feel recharged.
I love that you mentioned Insight Timer. Thank you, Mitchell. And thank you, Denise, also for what you said. Insight Timer, for those who may not be familiar with it, is an amazing resource. It's an app, it's free, and I'm on there. So you can find me there, and you can find so many beautiful teachings. I also love doing Yoga Nidra in the morning because it gives me an opportunity to reset my day if I've had a restless night's sleep, or if something has happened in the morning and I want to restart it. So I enjoy also it in the morning.
I also, just the last thing, I originally started using the Insight Timer because it has a timer on it. As I was starting to learn through a lot of teachings of doing yoga and just meditating, that it allows you to, sit in front of your altar, and you can, have your own gong or beep, and then halfway through it'll give you another gong, and so it was really helpful for me to get into a daily practice that I need to get back to. And then I got turned on to, like, I scrolled up just a little bit and like, oh my God, look at all this free, amazing stuff you can journey through. It's endless amounts of joy to go through that. So thank you.
Nice. Doug and Josara? Think your volume's back? Yeah, I hear something.
Okay, great. So going back to play, I actually have some fear around play. There's a sense of like criticism, like that's childish, and then also like a lack of safety and control. Like if I play and I just let my being just be in the spontaneous motion, I'm not like control. I'm not like in control of like, all the things, all the veils, it's like you have to take the veils off in order to just be I have to take the veils off in order to be playful. So I found the Yoga Nidra to be really interesting because as we were going through this sort of like safety and like feel this safety around you, I felt a wave of like a lack of safety. And it's just really, for me, just like really great information, because I said 10 out of 10. How are you doing today? Like 10 out of 10, I'm feeling great. So it's really good to just like tap into like the layers beyond the 10 out of 10, like that deeper place inside of me that is less conscious. So thank you. I mean, it's an odd thing to thank you for, but I'm grateful to touch into that.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm really grateful you spoke to the fear part of play, because I know you're not the only one. Along with that, letting go of control and just sort of surrendering to it. Not easy. Thank you. Oh my goodness, it's 10 a.m. The gong has rung. So lovely, Missy. That was so great. Even though I also, I was holding space a bit and looking around, but I feel like I really got the benefits of it. And I haven't done that practice in a while, and there's something about it that really works. Put it that way. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing that Thank you for bringing playfulness to us and to me. And thank you everybody for your presence and your participation. We have another beautiful Jaguar ally coming next week with something special. So yeah, thank you. And of course, I'll be sending the recording, and I'll be sending the contact info for Missy and some things about her that you can find out more about. So I wish everybody a blessed day. Feel free to unmute to send love and kisses. And yes, a great way to start the day. Thank you, Erin. Thank you for being here. Bring friends, the more the
Thank
merrier.
you,
You're
Missy. Thank you,
welcome.
Robyn. Thank you,
Everybody.
everyone.
You're welcome, everybody. Bye. Lots of love. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
A beautiful
Bye.
night's sleep.
Mhm. So given.
Stay warm if you're in the northern hemisphere. Cold out today.
Enjoy the rest of your time away, Robyn.
Thank you, Missy.
Thanks for inviting me. It was beautiful to be with you and your community.
Oh, thanks.
And
You're
I
welcome.
look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye,
Thank
everybody. Namaste. Lots of love.